Hi folks, this is Nachiket signing in for today's topic Plinth Beam based on physical site conditions. Remember, we are doing this presentation for low risk building and building built from scratch under the very prime topic Substructure Works. Plinth Beam. Once you hear this word, it basically gives you a sense of relief because it marks the end of Substructure Works. But still, there are many more small activities like cover-up works, anti-termite treatment, plaster, everything is there. A lot of works are still pending. But still, Plinth Beam gives you a sense of relief though. It's a milestone activity. Let's go deep inside. These are the blueprint reference. You can see here, you have the very structural detailing over, and this is the reference drawing for you. This PB1, PB2, this marks the plinth beam types 1 and 2. Here you can just refer the very schedule of plinth beam mentioned in here. So these are the reinforcement detailing, and these are basically the shuttering plan which marks the horizontal alignment of plinth beam, and the various cross section are shown here for PB1 and PB2. This is the XS axis and this is the YY axis, basically for references. Okay, here you can see two 12 mm rod, 12 mm dia rod in top, and one extra bar of 12 mm has been mentioned, and in the bottom you can see here 3 12 mm bar has been used. So this is basically all the plinth beam 2 in XX axis, and if you have a YY cross section, it has been mentioned here 3 12 mm dia rod, 2 12 mm dia rod, and one extra bar 12 in the inverted. So this is just a inverted case. Okay, and this is the longitudinal cross section. Here you can understand how the extra bars are shown. Okay, so you can see the extra bars, it has been mentioned 0.3 L means 0.3 the total length of the span. Okay, L or the span of the beam. So 0.3 L it has been mentioned. In the down you can see 0.25 L, and these are the stirrup spacing that has been mentioned, that is 8T at 5 inch center to center. So these are basically the stirrup spacing. Okay, in the schedule the size has been mentioned. For PB1 it is 10 by 12 inch, and basically the top bar, the bottom bar, and in the extra part the start, end and center, wherever the rods extra rods are to be placed, those have been mentioned. And in the bottom reinforcement or the shear reinforcement also there has been written the support, and in center whatever rods are to be placed. Okay, so these are the basic reference, blueprint reference that you need to understand in case of plinth beam. So let's understand the standard process of casting of plinth beam, but before that you have some small activities to be done. First is brick soling. Basically these are for internal walls, partition walls, it's not for periphery walls. Okay, so brick soling is done here. The best alternative for it is metalling as well. You can do metalling, but better is you can go for brick soling. Okay, then the plinth beam reinforcement work are done, you can see here. Then the next part is shuttering formwork. You can see shuttering cover has been given, then poly cover is given so that the water does not get outside. So waterproof shuttering is basically cased. Okay, then the major part, that is the RCC casting, is done. Then this is the final output that you can see. Okay, so what are the basic quality tips that you need to follow while doing the plinth beam work? Number one, Verify the layout and levels are quite important in this part. So you have a level checklist. So take a auto level or by a water level, conduct the level, check out the levels at each junctions, at every span, in every spacing of 2 feet you need to check the levels. Okay, then next is stable backfilling compaction is very important. You can see here a photo or image where basically the soil compaction or the backfilling is improper, it has gone down, so it gives a very dangerous condition out here. So don't do this. The backfilling compaction should be steady and stable before conducting the plinth beam casting. Okay, avoid lapping in beam junctions. This is a reinforcement checklist part. You can see here, suppose these are two joints, so never give the lapping. You can see two red lines out here, so the lappings are always give in center or in this particular lapping zone. It should the joint should be given, so never give it here or here or here. Okay, it will be the most weakest spot out. Okay, so check for extra bars, always check for extra bars. I said you before, extra bars are quite important because these are basically the designed part, so never ever miss out the extra bars, and it should be as per specification, drawing specification as well. Okay, then fifth point is provide master ring in column bars before casting. Basically forget to put the master rings of column, because there are chances that your column may get skew or disoriented while casting of plinth beam. Okay, provide support to prevent bulging. Always provide proper support. And for plinth beam casting, it should be a mandatory monolithic casting. You must have that much amount of shuttering material, otherwise putting joints is not wise in case of plinth beam casting. It should be 1 day casting schedule, and it is mandatory to have a monolithic casting. Okay, regarding a shuttering, I have one point again. Regarding the shuttering works, always give enough support, and always place the cover blocks properly to maintain the alignment if possible. And there is one desi jugaad that is commonly used over in site. You can have a U bent rod of 8 mm or 10 mm. You can just place it a U bar type for proper bottom support. After the plinth beam is casted, you can remove it. Okay, so this is also very effective manner of doing shuttering. There are a lot of desi jugaad those are taking place, but if the beam depth is bit high, even more than 1 foot, then tie rod is preferable. Okay, and also see before the plinth beam work, if there is any kind of plumbing related works like underground planning, because in ground floor toilets are still there. Nowadays sunken type of toilet is not applicable though, because we have P-trap commode and sidewise outlets. Still, if there is any request from client side, then please check it out. All the piping works should be concluded beforehand the plinth beam work. Okay, so what are the safety rules that you need to check out? Number 1, you must have PPs, barricade the area. Then be careful about tripping hazard. Then again, stay away from heavy machineries if on used. Okay, so thank you. See you in the next video, that is cover up works under substructure works.